Right, the broadcast states that I'm back to live. Is that correct?
Yes, hopefully. Let me make sure that it's working. Can someone please give us a note on the side and let us know if this is working now? Sorry, guys. Is it working? Yes, it's working. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience.
Okay, I will try to do my best to again share the screen. And so I have shared the screen. Does that appear to also be functioning properly?
I am not seeing the PowerPoint, TJ.
All right, so why don't we do this? We can talk about this, and I think that that may be, again, we'll post the presentation. You know, sometimes these things can happen with technology, so I will chalk it up to you know, a connection issue. So sorry about that. So again, though, when we talk about power wheelchairs, we want to make sure that you're aware that there are multiple options available. We want to make sure that you know what these options are. So I tried to briefly describe the difference between tilt, recline, and elevating leg rests. Also was discussing alternative drive controls, meaning that we are going to make sure that we provide a safe and effective way for you to operate the equipment, regardless of the physical situation that the person that is diagnosed may be experiencing. We have some that are affected in their upper bodies, some in their lower bodies, and so we have alternative drive controls that we can use to ensure that you can still safely operate that regardless of the limitations that you may be experiencing. And these things are also adaptable and changeable. So as we know with ALS, there can be very quick changes to your physical capabilities, and we want to make sure that the equipment that we provide is adaptable to those changes. And we are therefore going to be staying in touch with you during the provision process and after the provision process to make sure that as you get things done, we can be there ready to help you out. So in addition to alternative drive controls, there are also different types of seating surfaces. So seating surfaces, for example, may be the seat cushion that you're sitting on or the back cushion that you're leaning against. We all have different body types. You know, somebody who's skinnier may need a different type of a cushion than somebody maybe who's a little larger, someone who's shorter versus someone who's taller. We're all different. And there are a number of manufacturers out there that we work with to partner with the manufacturer of the wheelchair to ensure that the seating systems that we're putting on this equipment is going to be comfortable, is going to make sure that you are able to utilize the equipment for a lengthy period of time. We want you to be able to sit and use the equipment pretty much all day because we want to make sure that you're able to do the things that you want to do and be as independent as possible with yourself, with your family, with maybe pets. So we want to make sure that you're able to sit in that equipment for a long period of time. And kind of to put that in perspective for you, so let's just say that I was going to be sitting in an office chair all day. That's kind of uncomfortable. But if I'm sitting in a wheelchair cushion that's specifically designed for me, I may be able to sit for a longer period of time without having to move around too much. We do the same thing with back cushions because as you have opportunities to make sure that you're properly supported in your upper body, to make sure that your body is stable to be able to utilize the equipment, we want to make sure that those items and options are also available to you. And so, Cindy, I would like to go ahead. It's about a quarter after. So with those technical difficulties, we're running just a few minutes over. So if you don't mind, Cindy, I could turn it over to you and we can talk about access for a little bit.
Sure. Yes. And the first thing I want to say is we apologize for the technical issues that we're having, everyone, with not being able to see the PowerPoint. What we will do is we will share the PowerPoint slides with you through a PDF later on in the booth so that you can see the visuals that we're talking about today. So with our NSM 360-degree solution, not only does NSM provide the custom manual and power wheelchairs, but we also provide a full line of home accessibility products and services. So part of my team is We have a centralized team in Tampa, and our team manages accessibility throughout the whole state of Florida. In addition, 47 states. Our team offers a fully integrated home accessibility solution, everything from your threshold ramps to grab bars. We also do full-blown construction. So anybody who needs some level of home accessibility, either with their walker, to get over a threshold ramp, to get over a threshold in doorways, or with their manual or power wheelchair, to actually enter into a home that might have multiple steps to enter and exit the home, we offer all of those solutions. Bathroom modifications is a really huge area that typically needs to be addressed with persons with ALS. And that is something that NSM is fully capable of being able to provide products and services within the bathroom so that persons with ALS can bathe and groom and toilet safely. Also, in addition to our accessibility services, we also do offer vehicle modifications and vehicle lifts, so both internal and external lifts. So if you receive either a manual or a power wheelchair and you need to be able to have the means to transport that wheelchair out into the community, we can look at your vehicle and provide either that external or internal vehicle lift system. If you have a van that you've purchased that needs to be modified in order to make it accessible, we also offer those solutions too. And we'll share all this information in our booth so that you can see the full spectrum of all the accessibility solutions that we offer. What our processes within our centralized team in Tampa is, we will come to your home and do a home assessment, whether that is a home safety assessment if persons with ALS are just beginning to have balance issues. So let's say you're able to walk, you might have a little weakness here and there, but as you're progressing, or I should say, as the disease is progressing, maybe you might have a little more weakness in your legs and your feet, and your balance just isn't quite right, and you're starting to have falls. One of the things that we really do promote is coming in and doing a home safety assessment to prevent those falls. Because as we know with persons with ALS, if you fall and have a serious injury, you break a hip, or an ankle, even just damage to the muscles themselves, persons with ALS is very difficult to fully recover. And so that is one of the primary things, one of the first things that we really try to do is prevent those falls in the home. And so we can come in, we can do a home safety assessment and offer you some solutions to mitigate those potential risks of falling in the home. We can offer you solutions that you can do now, because obviously, with ALS being a progressive disease, we also need to plan ahead of time. And so part of what we do is we try to help you stay ahead of the disease. So we can come in and we can offer you solutions that you may want to take advantage of now, but then we can also offer solutions in the future so that you can financially plan for those things that you may need in the future. Insurance is very limited with what they do provide for home accessibility and home safety products. And those are the things we can talk to you about as well. So not only, looking at today at where persons with ALS are in their disease process or progression, but also looking into the future and helping you with managing that from both a product and service standpoint, but also financially. So we have about 10 minutes left. Do we have some questions? I'd like to go ahead and open it up to some Q&A. So I see here, where are we located in Tampa? So we are in, our office is in Largo, And we actually just moved into a new location. And soon, hopefully by the end of this year, we're actually going to have a showroom floor so people can come in and see and feel and look at the products that we offer, the full line of products, everything from manual and power chairs all the way up to home and vehicle accessibility.
One of the other questions, Cindy, that was just asked was, is this service free? So what we can say is that the evaluation processes typically are going to be no charge from any of the vendors that you work with. Again, this is not vendor specific in that sense. So typically we will work with your insurance company to get the services covered. And with access as well, there are opportunities to look at alternative funding sources that we can explore to help offset some of the costs of that as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we're working with you and working with your individual situation in order to try to come up with a way that is the most cost effective possible and also the most efficient possible. We all have enough to worry about as we're going through this, and we want, if we can take some of this burden off of your mind and make this process easier for you, then I think that we've done our job. So that's, I think, what our goal is.
Yeah. And there are grants out there. And that's one of the things that you guys, that persons with ALS can work with their care coordinators, is what types of grants are out there for funding. There are alternative funding sources. In my past life prior to employment with National Seating and Mobility, I was a private practitioner and worked very closely with the Florida chapter. So I'm very familiar with some of the grants that are out there. And those are some of the other things that, you know, TJ was talking about, where we can explore alternative funding for some of these products. As far as the services, we do have a team in Tampa and also throughout the state of Florida. How many branches we have? How many branches in Florida, Tampa? I mean, in TJ?
In Florida, we now have 6 branches.
So we have 6 branches throughout the state of Florida. And so our reach, you know, we have a pretty good reach in Florida, and we can come to your home and do a home assessment for free.
No, that's just covered.
I'm sorry.
So one of the questions that also just came up was, can we comment on portable power chair options? There are a number of manufacturers that any vendor can tap into in order to get you or have you at least take a look at portable power wheelchair options. I will say, though, that we have to take into consideration a number of different variables relative to those specific products. So your insurance company is generally going to pay for what we call primary mobility device. That primary mobility device is not going to likely be one of those portable fold-up chairs that you see on TV, because those typical devices are not designed for long-term or heavy use. They're designed for short stints, maybe, you know, from point A to point B. Whereas the equipment that we're talking about being covered by your insurance, the equipment that has like the power tilts and reclines and those features, are typically going to be more of a permanent, long-term need that can be used for, you know, 6, 8, 10 plus hours at a time. Whereas a portable power wheelchair is generally used for no more than 2 hours at a time. And even though they are considered portable, they're probably not as portable as people think. Even when you break them down, their components can weigh up to 50 pounds. And so, you know, you just have to make sure that you have somebody that's available to help load and unload and then assemble and reassemble, because they have to be assembled every time that you take them apart to make them portable. So yes, there are portable pieces of equipment. However, we generally find that it's not usually as practical as people think they are. But we're always willing to have that conversation and show you what they are so that you can make those decisions for yourself. There was another question about, do we have locations across the state? I'm sorry. I think that question, we just answered that, right, with the 6 locations that we have. I also want to make sure that you're aware of the presentation. I'm going to add a slide that is going to add Cindy and I's contact information, both email address and contact phone number.
Yeah, and there's something that I do want to just add real quick to the offerings within our services is that, now with this COVID environment that we've all been living in for quite a while now, we do also offer telehealth. So if you're not comfortable with us coming into your home, due to COVID, we have a couple of different HIPAA compliant and secure means of doing telehealth, and we can actually do a telehealth home safety assessment. We have been doing that for quite some time, very successfully. And so if you have any questions about that as well, we can answer those later at the booth.
All right, so we are at 12:27. We know that the next presenter is going to start about 3 minutes. So we probably want to go ahead and wrap this short session up. I really prefer the slideshow mishap. One of the technology challenges that we sometimes come up against when we're doing something here for the first time like this to such a large audience. So we will, like I said, post this in our booth so it can be easily accessed by anybody who wants to jump in the booth and take a look. Give me about 15, 20 minutes to make that happen. And then otherwise, like I said, everything that we're putting in this particular presentation should and is available across the line. So, we want to make sure that our presentation from National Seating Mobility was for everybody, all of the vendors, and not just us, because we are looking at, our mission is to support the ALSA and to support ALS's mission. So we want to do everything that we can to help you. Whether you choose us or whether you choose somebody else, we want to make sure that your experience is the best that it possibly can be, regardless of who you go with. So I thank you for giving us a few minutes of your time. Greatly appreciate our ability to present to everyone. Wish we were doing it in person. I know we all do, but happy that we could do it virtually if we can't do it in person. So, Cindy, you have anything to add?
Nope, we will be available at the booth for the remaining symposium today for any questions, or if you guys want to connect on video to chat, we'll most certainly be available to do that.
All right. So thank you all. I'm going to go ahead and stop the broadcast so we can get prepared for the next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Bye-bye, everyone.